I'm probably not going to upload this video. um, I've had a few people email me over the weekend concerned about my lack of seriousness with everything going on. And I think it's important to remind people that I'm a clown. Uh, I'm here to entertain. I don't want people taking anything I say at face value. I want people to tune in and be entertained. It's frustrating to me to see many of my peers continue to put out ridiculously short sighted and uneducated takes on the George Floyd situation. A man is dead, and four men, I think, should be in prison for it. I think that's what's going to happen, and that's a good thing. The complexities of fixing this issue to me is simply too much for any one person to handle. And so that's why you see people lash out, demonstrating peacefully, protesting, getting out to the voting booth and voting people out. These are things I strongly support. But the minute you go into a store and you walk out with a pair of sneakers or you take a 4K TV, you ain't doing that to remember George Floyd, old, looting a Target for old what's his name. I don't want to hear that you gave a fuck about this dude. If you're going to be on the streets causing violence, I don't want to hear that you even care 1 ounce about this dude if I'm watching you commit crimes on tape. The overwhelming majority of people upset by this are kind-hearted and law-abiding citizens. There are problems in this country with race, obviously. But the absolute fact of this is just going to set everything back further. Looting stores and burning cop cars, isn't going to improve the brand. What voting people out, educating, and coming together will do is change. I think it's really easy for me to sit in my studio, or for other Twitch streamers to sit in their studios, talk about this or that. I grew up middle class, never really had to face any major issues. I worked hard. I earned what I've got. I didn't inherit dick from my parents. So when I hear, people saying, it's just stuff. It's just stuff. Is it? For a lot of these businesses, the same clowns that are like, insurance. Do you have any fucking clue how insurance works? Have you ever owned property and tried to make an insurance claim? I had a few large trees fall down from storm damage. Insurance took months, almost a year, to finally tell me no. I have family members that we had a huge storm come through here that still haven't been paid anything. Do you think they're going to cover fucking riots? Are you joking? Do you think Jim the plumber, who's had his business in downtown Minneapolis for generations, do you think he's got a robust insurance policy that covers riots? No. His business is done. His livelihood is destroyed. Many of these businesses, since you seem to care so much about minorities, are minority owned. To me, I don't see a difference. Whether it's owned by a black person or a white person or whatever, it's still fucked. Then you got brands waxing philosophic about Black Lives Matter while they've got sweatshops overseas producing their $800 iPhones. Get the fuck out of here with that. All right? You're not going to cure racism with more violence and stealing and property damage. You're not going to cure it by shaming people who want to defend their properties, who point out that There are crimes happening, and it's being excused by the local PD. Yes, the police force has major, major issues. There's absolutely no reason that you should have shitty cops on the force. This guy who did this, from what I can tell, or from what I read, had 13 or 14 something other complaints. You shouldn't be on active duty if you've got more than one complaint that hasn't been investigated. Obviously, I 100% support putting together, and I will fund it with I will donate my own money to getting some sort of civilian oversight in place. But you've got to talk about practical solutions. Breaking into a Target and stealing shit isn't solving anything. It's making it worse. And all these folks, these virtue signaling blue check marks on Twitter, or Twitch streamers or YouTubers that are excusing this behavior, you're part of the problem too. You're saying because they're looters, and in this case black looters, that this is obviously what they're referring to, that they don't have to live up to the same standards as everyone else. So we should give them a pass because they're angry and they feel like their voices haven't been heard. Doesn't ring true when they're burning down their own neighborhoods. Doesn't ring true when you have NBA stars talking about, yeah, burn it down. Oops, they're at my front gate. Get these animals out of here. It's profoundly out of touch. I don't care about the color of anyone's skin who watches my videos or who I interact with. But I also understand that that does make me blind to people that do. I understand that is a weakness. I really hate saying I'm white so I don't get it. But it is true in this case. I don't think anyone's ever looked at me and said, he's white, I want to hurt him for being white. Maybe. I wouldn't know about it. Does this happen with people of other skin colors? Of course it does. And you've got to root that behavior out. Can you explain to me how burning your city down does that? Can you explain to me about how pulling police out and letting towns run wild with anarchy is bringing people together? These are the actions of people that want more division. If you see people promoting this and saying the ends justify the means, they're not your friend. They're not friends to black folks either, if they're not willing to call out bad behavior. And white folks that are looting, you're just as bad. It's almost worse because you're pretending to care about the treatment of black folks and you're making them look worse by participating in looting and burning shit down. CNN, MSNBC, Fox News, wall-to-wall highlights of the most terrible actors. They're not showing all the peaceful protests. They're showing the dude breaking into the Nike store, a black man, running out with a bunch of shoes and having another black person steal shoes from him. A looter getting looted. It's hilarious to see until the laughs end. And you realize that now that black man is going to go to jail, and a million other people just saw two black people looting a store. So what does that do for the black brand exactly, Fox? Improve how people view them? Maybe spend more time showing all the black community members joining hands, standing up, protecting their local businesses. The idea that putting black-owned business on your store, what do you think people think that means when I see that shit? You know what people say? Well, they know what they're writing. They're going after white people. I don't know how else to tell you how that looks to a white guy. Those cops deserve jail, obviously. But if you're participating in excusing bad behavior and you're not adding positive suggestions to the conversation, then you're part of the problem too. See these Hollywood assholes injecting hundreds of thousands of dollars. Why do you think they do that? Why do you think the Democrats and the Republicans are already politicizing this and saying that their side is the one that's going to fix it? I don't have all the answers, but the answer isn't to excuse bad behavior. The answer isn't to give people a pass when they're being shitty, and that goes for your own folks too. That means if you're white and you see you have a white friend that's being shitty, you call it out. If you're black and you have black friends, this whole concept that black people can't be racist is fucking absurd. Why are people putting up black-owned businesses then? Black folks need to check their other black folks when they're being shitty about white folks. I don't understand. People are afraid to say this stuff because it gets them canceled. But I want better for everybody. I don't want racists anywhere or racist cops, all right? But smashing windows and rioting in the streets changes none of that. Excusing that behavior changes none of that, all right? This situation isn't going to go away. It's going to happen again. The question is, are you going to look back at how little burning down a Target did, and are you going to do it again? How do you I don't get it. I don't get it. All of this behavior is bad. More than one thing can be true at a time. Those cops can deserve jail, and looting can be bad. You can't be so binary in your thinking. That's how absolutists come along. And when you believe that there's only one possible solution or one possible answer, that's how shit like this happens. I just want everyone to be better. How can you do that? By exercising influence on your immediate circles. Hundreds of thousands of people might watch videos. Do you think that, telling black folks that no matter what happens, white folks will always hate you? That's what a lot of these videos are saying, Do you think that that is the right message? I don't hate black folks. Most white people don't. The overwhelming majority of them don't. So why are we talking about the 1% of people? They need to be mocked and removed and like put on a leper colony and laughed at. Not propped up by CNN and Fox News for clicks. Oh, you found the one guy sig heiling out of 1 million protesters. Get him on the front page. I want people to wake up to this. The media is not your friend. Brands are not your friend. They want your votes or they want your money. Change starts with you inside. All right? Don't look for other people to tell you what to think. You know what's right or wrong. I appreciate all of you, and I'll probably never publish this.